A good waiter can hold your entire complicated order in his head, then forget every word the instant you pay. That is not a flaw in his memory. It is a hidden rule your brain follows too. It refuses to let go of anything you have not finished. An unfinished task does not just wait, it nags, while a finished one simply fades away. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Watch how it works in that waiter. He takes a long order from a full table and never writes a word down. He remembers every dish perfectly, right up until the moment the bill is paid. And then, seconds later, he cannot tell you what any of those people ate. That strange little gap is not bad memory. It is one of the most reliable quirks in your mind, and it is quietly running your attention right now. Your brain hates leaving things unfinished. An open task does not just sit on a list, it sits inside your head and pulls. This was first noticed in a Vienna cafe in the 1920s. A psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik watched waiters hold huge, unpaid orders flawlessly, then forget them the instant the table settled up. So she took the question into the lab. She gave people a series of small tasks, like puzzles and little jobs to build. But she let them finish only some, and interrupted them partway through the rest. Later, she asked them to recall everything they had worked on. People remembered the interrupted tasks about twice, as well as the ones they had completed. The unfinished work simply stuck, while the finished work faded. Her explanation was tension. Starting a task opens a kind of loop in your mind, and that loop creates a quiet mental pressure to close it. Finish the job, and the tension releases, so your brain lets the memory go. Leave it open, and the tension stays, keeping the task active and nagging at you. And once you know it, you start to see it everywhere. It is why a song that cuts off halfway gets stuck on a loop in your head. It is why you can walk away from a finished book, but a cliffhanger keeps you up past midnight. Every to be continued, every season finale, every news teaser before the break is built on the very same nerve. They hand you an open loop on purpose, because they know an open loop is hard to put down. Even your phone uses it, with notification badges and unfinished progress bars that beg to be cleared. Video games run on it too, dangling one more quest and one more level just out of reach. The whole streaming binge works this way, because each episode ends by quietly opening the next loop before it closes its own. And here is the part that can actually work in your favor. The same tension that nags you can be pointed at the things you keep avoiding. Procrastination usually feels worst before you begin, when the whole task sits there untouched. But the moment you start, even for 5 short minutes, you open the loop. Now the tension is working for you, gently pulling you back to finish what you began. The writer Ernest Hemingway used a version of this on purpose. He liked to stop work for the day in the middle of a sentence, while he still knew what came next. That unfinished line tugged at him overnight and made it easy to dive back in the next morning. But the open loop has a cost too, because a mind full of unfinished business is a noisy place. Those nagging tasks can crowd your attention and even cost you sleep. Luckily, there is a simple release valve. In one study, people distracted by unmet goals were able to quiet the noise without finishing anything at all. They only had to make a concrete plan for how and when they would do it. Writing the task down with a clear next step seems to tell your brain the loop is handled. The pressure eases, even though the work itself is still waiting. Now to be fair about the science. The Zeigarnik effect is real but moody, and it does not show up equally for everyone or every task. Later studies got mixed results, and the size of the effect depends on how much you actually care about the thing. But the core idea has held up well, and you can feel it in your own head right now. So the next time an unfinished task is gnawing at you, You have two honest choices. Start it and let the tension pull you through to the end. Or write down exactly when you will and let your mind finally set it down. Either way, you stop fighting the open loop and you start using it. If you enjoy small ideas that quietly explain why you do what you do, subscribe. Your unfinished thoughts are more powerful than you think,